It's crashing, guys. It's crashing. Everything's crashing. Guys, get out of here. Get out of here. Pokemon market's crashing. Hey everybody, it's Pokevolver, owner of PokevolverCards.com. I'm just here to do a quick video for you guys about the modern sealed Pokemon market. There's Pokemon product on shelves everywhere. The scalpers are out of here. We've been waiting for this forever. And I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the behind the scenes from a store owner's perspective and some of the things I've heard behind the scenes that I haven't heard anybody really talking about, and I think it's really big news. So I think this is going to be a video that's worth sticking around for and worth listening to. I hope you guys enjoy. Now let's get into it. So first let's talk about what's actually going on. So Pokemon has had massive reprints in the past month or two that have hit our shelves. So it all started with Chilling Reign, where Chilling Reign Wave 2 was delayed. It was supposed to come at the end of August. It was delayed and we didn't get it until November. So Evolving Skies had the same thing happen to it. Wave 2 was delayed until November. Celebrations, massive delays during celebrations. A lot of products didn't come on release day. A lot of it got pushed back, and a lot of it got pushed into November. There is also a lot of other stuff that came in November. Battle Styles reprints, Vivid Voltage reprints, and then one thing that we weren't expecting, Darkness Ablaze reprints, which is super awesome, but we've been waiting for this for months and months and months. And we're finally getting everything all at once. But the problem with that is this is causing the market to crash and prices to crash. And I want to go into a little bit more detail about why that's happening. I know you're thinking to yourself, oh, it's just simple supply and demand. They finally caught up with supply. The supply outpaced the demand. Simple, easy, that's what's happening right now. But it's a lot deeper than that. And there's a lot more going on here. And I'm going to break this down. So for us in the past month, we've taken in more product than we were allocated in the whole first 8 months of 2021. So 8 months worth of product in 1 month. So that means 8 times the cost of what we usually have in a month. And this is a factor that I'm going to come back to in the future. But there's also the demand side of it. The supply is outpacing the demand. But there's multi levels to demand. It's multifaceted. So demand has a short term and a long term to it. The short term demand right now is really what's causing this price to all the prices to kind of drop like crazy. But what does this really look like? So people basically have a set amount of money set aside every week or every month for Pokemon. Unless you have unlimited money or all the money in the world, the normal person has a set budget. So what happens when all this product starts hitting the shelves? Your choices are unlimited. So you're like, oh, I only have a certain amount of money to spend this month or this week, and you got to kind of efficiently get what you want to get and the things that you want the most. So I think there's so much stuff on the shelves now that people still want more, but they just don't have enough money in their budget to be able to handle it or to get any more at the moment. So they have to wait for the next paycheck or the next month's budget to roll around before they can actually pick that stuff up. And this is a fact of life pretty much. And so this in the short term is what's happening right now. I think in the long term, I think there's still like the macro level picture, there's still demand for these sets. I think people still really like Evolving Skies. People really like Fusion Strike. People really like Celebrations. People like Chilling Reign, but the prices are diving because they just don't have the money to scoop it up at the moment. That's just one side of the coin. That's the demand side, and we've kind of covered the supply side. Now let's kind of discuss the store owner's perspective behind this and how that has a factor in these price crashes. So like I was saying before, we got 8 times the amount of product than we normally do in a single month, 8 times the cost. And just picture what that does. So businesses have a set amount of capital set aside to be able to take in their orders, and they're planning to get a certain amount of orders every month and a certain amount that they have to pay for. What happens when you get this much product coming in all at once, and you're just not prepared for it financially? You don't have the money available. You don't have the capital. There's a whole bunch of options that store owners can take, but what this really does, like try to envision the feeling that a store owner would be going through right now. You have 8 times the amount of stuff coming in, and you don't have the money to pay for it. How would that feel? And like, if that's causing you panic or fear or anything like that, like that's the normal reaction. That's what store owners are feeling right now. A lot of sleepless nights for a lot of them, I'm sure, and a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of panic comes with that. A lot of panic and that feeling, the dread. They have to somehow come up with a solution for this, or else their business is going to go under. So like I mentioned before, store owners have a few ways they can deal with this, and a common one that stores actually do is they try to liquidate the products. So they try to sell everything that's coming in fast enough to get the money back and put it into the next order. It's called liquidating, and it's like basically like either trying to break even, or even now with the prices as low as they are, it's now taking a loss to sell the product just to get the money back to put it into the next order, just to be able to fulfill that next order with the distributor. And I guess you're probably wondering to yourself, why can't they just cancel those orders so they can just sell through this stuff at a normal pace and actually maybe make a few bucks off of it? But canceling orders is another option that store owners have, but it's very negative. Whenever somebody store cancels their orders with a distributor, there's a red X that gets put right next to their name, and it kind of ruins the relationship with the distributor. They're not going to be able to get as much product from the distributor for the very, very high demand sets. Those high demand sets are going to be given to the stores that actually fulfilled their orders, actually ordered the stuff that they said they were. You got to remember, stores put in pre-orders for this stuff, very large pre-orders. We got allocated a certain amount, so everything that we're receiving right now is stuff that we ordered in the past, that we said that we would pay for when we got it, and we agreed to that. So canceling your order is basically like breaking your word. It's breaking your trust with the distributor, and it's not good. The distributor is going to want to go to somebody else, because that's a healthy relationship, a healthy business relationship, a healthy partnership is the store that helped the distributor out, that took what they said they were going to take even when the market was bad. And that's kind of what happens when you cancel your order, is you destroy that, and it's very bad, and it puts you in a bad spot in the future. But in times of desperation, that is an option that stores can take. And then the last option is pretty much to just hold what you have and try to eat through the amount of money that you have left to kind of get you through that period until you can sell some stuff for maybe break even or a little bit of money. And but you have no idea how long that's going to last. It could be months. In the past, with after the Evolutions crash, after Evolutions came out and there was Evolutions on shelves everywhere for about $70 a box, stores were selling for a loss, and if they didn't, they had to hold it. And you know how long that lasted? It lasted years until stores could get rid of their Evolutions for break even or a profit. It was years that they had to sit on it, and that could happen right now. That could happen. That is a risk that stores are facing. And another thing that's adding to that panic and that anxiety is, how long is it going to last? We have no idea. Completely uncertain. And that doesn't make stores feel good at all. So if you wait and you hold, you have no idea how long you're holding for. But you can just kind of hold as long as you can until you have to eventually sell it to pick up that next order, just to survive. So I hope that some of this stuff is interesting to you guys, because I've been going on and on about this, but I do have more details that I want to share, and I hope I'm giving a good, interesting perspective on this. But another side of this coin that people aren't discussing is that a lot of new stores came into the TCG world recently. A lot of new businesses were formed, a lot of new accounts with distributors. I heard somewhere back in November of 2020 that new accounts were opening at distributors at a rate 30 times greater, 30 times faster than normal. So that means 30 times the amount of new businesses were being created every single day, every single month with just single distributors. So a lot of new businesses came into the TCG space during this whole boom. What happens with new businesses? What are the factors that they're going to be seeing right now? New businesses don't have a lot of capital. They don't have as much as a business that's been established and had all that time to grow, get more profit, kind of get bigger and bigger, grow their inventory. They also don't have the customers. All the customers that those older businesses have already gained the trust of. and already built relationships with, and they don't have that customer base, so they have a smaller amount of customers to buy from them. So now they have less money, they have less customers, they don't have the relationships with their distributors that the older stores had built. So older stores were actually allocated a lot more product during this time, during the boom, than the newer businesses were, because they have that longer relationship. They built that trust, they've established that trust, and the distributors know that during these times when the market's not as good, those bigger businesses are going to be the ones that have their backs, that have gained their trust. They know what to expect from them, and those newer businesses, they don't know what to expect from them. So that relationship's really important. And then there's also the experience. The newer businesses don't have the experience. They haven't gone through something like this. A lot of new businesses probably weren't expecting this. They probably didn't realize this was going to happen, because they kind of just jumped into it. They saw an opportunity, and they didn't realize what it would look like when things got bad like this. So that experience is really important. So all those factors are playing against the new businesses, and there's a lot of new businesses. So a big chunk of the selling market are these new businesses that have all these factors against them, and it puts them in a tight spot. It puts them in a spot where they have to make these tough decisions. And that's what you're seeing. So a lot of businesses, it seems, are trying to liquidate. They're trying to sell all their stuff as fast as possible, and they have to, because they're desperate and they have to get that money back. So that's why you're seeing the prices go so low, and it could get lower. It could get lower depending on how desperate the businesses get and how much Pokemon decides to keep reprinting. We're getting really, really late into this video, but I do think these points are very, very important. So what's happening right now? This move where Pokemon reprinted all of this, we're getting into the big info that I have for you guys now. This is good for Pokemon. This is good for the market. This is good for everybody. So basically, one thing that I've heard is that from my distributor is that there was the past few weeks, there were dozens of accounts that were closed. Dozens of accounts. I think this is a huge piece of information. Dozens of accounts were closed. We, as a store, we've taken orders from 6 different businesses that canceled their orders. So we took the business from 6 different businesses and gobbled it up into ours, basically. And what it's basically doing is it's weeding out the people who are really only here for the short term. They were only here for the short term. They were only prepared for the short term. They weren't prepared for something like this. They weren't ready for something like this, and they don't want to stick around for something like this. They don't want to weather the storm and get to the good times again. They were only here for the profits. And a lot of these businesses that are cutting and running, those were probably the scalpers. Those were probably people that were here just for the profits. And the people that were here just for the profits are probably the ones that were selling it for way above MSRP, because they were only here for the profits. They didn't care about the bigger picture. They didn't care about you guys. They didn't care about what was right. They were just here for the profits. I know that's not everybody, and that's not all the people that are going through tough times right now, but I think there are people that did rush into this too, that really did care about it, and they're hurting from this right now, and that sucks that they're hurting. But it's also, before I started this business, I put years of research into e-commerce, years of research into finance. I've invested for years and years, almost a decade now, learning the ins and outs of business and what market trends, and kind of investing and where to put my money, and what risks are associated with where I put my money, and how to do that smartly. But really, it is all about putting that work in and doing that research and setting yourself up for success. And hopefully they learn that lesson and they do that the next time around. And that's the tough lesson that they're learning right now. But that is what's going to make them successful in the future, is learning that lesson, doing the work up front, and not being impatient. And that's what we're seeing right now. The people who are patient right now and are sticking through this and trying to build their community and be good to the people and making the best long-term decisions, and really caring about what they're doing, are the people that are going to be successful, I hope. And in the long term, that's good. That's good for the Pokemon company, and that's good for Pokemon, and it's good for all of you guys because of that. Because what's good for Pokemon is good for you guys. The more profit that Pokemon makes, the better sets that they can make for you guys. And that's what it's all about. And I just kind of want to let you guys know about all that and that perspective, and I think it's really cool stuff. I hope you guys think so too. But thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, what you found interesting. If you want to hear more about this is going to be, I want to make more videos like this, but I need to hear from you guys. Did you stick around for this long? I really want to know, is it worth it to make these videos and put these out there? Are people getting value from this? And that will really motivate me to make more. And let me know what you want to hear more about. That'd be awesome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And have a good one. Until next time.